Hi, guys. Oh my god. I hate that a topic like this exists, and I was watching some of the Stanford Bridgecast and everything. And okay, I adore Arch and Sargon. They have some good opinions on a lot of things. But Jesus fucking Christ, I'm sorry. It's painful to listen to other people talk about how corrupt the American school system is when they one haven't experienced the American school system, and two, uh they don't know how the American school system is. Ugh. Anyways, how are you guys? I'm gonna put up a stupid little goal. There you go. Stupid little goal. Hello, thank you for the 50 Mexicans. LumLum, you need to react to the cheese caves of the fat electrician. Okay, I'll look into that another time. But today we kind of see some other stupid bullshit. Ugh. Excuse me. Hello, Mr. J. Can't stay but figure say hi. Well, thank you. I appreciate you popping by. But yeah, we're gonna be watching the initial podcast. I know everyone has probably already seen it at this point. We're gonna watch it anyway for context sake. Teal equals green. Yes, that's the $5 one, I believe. And on top of this, I do also have just I have an entire bookmark folder that I've just been putting things over here to look at after we're done watching the podcast. There's been more that's come out since I last updated this. I think well, it's because I started the goal after he did a super chat, but I will count it towards it. Usually Miss Stanford Bridge what's Alex Jones during the day. Yeah, that's fair. Evil always goes after the kids. Yep. Oh yeah, this is a whole thing, but we'll get through everything we can. Let's see, Chrome up. Let me know how the audio is, and I will adjust as such. All right, let's get started.
If you can't tell by the thumbnail, this episode, it's not even an episode. It is something rich. You know him as Angry Cups, brought to light. And it is something that even now I'm at a loss of words to how to even explain it. I will say viewer discretion is advised, and it does have to deal with kids. I truly believe everyone should see this message. And I know this community. We know this community, and we know you guys will help make this right and make a difference.
And it's like, okay, this is one thing that, correct me if I'm wrong, because quite obviously, we all know Arch doesn't have a kid. I don't know if Sargon has children, but it seems like a lot of people, whenever they hear things relating to school at all, if they don't have children, they look at it very logic based, like, oh, why didn't the teachers just go to the police? Oh, why didn't they do this? Oh, why didn't they do that? Sargon has multiple? Okay. Sargon has kids? Okay. But it's like, if people don't have kids, they kind of look at things like this through a different lens. Because when it comes to children, some people, if they don't have kids, can't quite connect with the feelings that parents do have when it comes to things like this. Other people just kind of wave it off as, oh yeah, more schooling, government corruption. But a lot of the times it's more than just that as well. Because this gets brought up later into the podcast, but I have heard from other people that in different states, not just New York, but different states, there are monetary incentives in terms of school funding, on where the less that is reported that affects the school's records, such as crimes and stuff like that, the less there is, the more funding that the school gets in like bonus programs and stuff. And the more that the police is called, the more that things happen at the schools, lower test grades and stuff, which is why a lot of teachers, have a little leeway with grading tests. That can affect the funding. Thoughts on Common Core math? If that's the new shit that they're doing now, I hate it. I hate Common Core math. Hello, LumLum. When I was in school, all the girls swooned over our new 28-year-old teachers. Some 20 years later, he went to jail for 3 years. Of course. It's funny. The high school that I went to, the year before I was slotted to go to that high school, the gym teacher was actually, was investigated and was going to be arrested for doing stuff with students. But he ran. He left the state. No one knew where he was going before the police could get him. 26. Me. I said 26. But yeah, it's just like, it's like that's a whole thing within itself. It's like, yes, it's common for younger girls to have crushes on their, their teachers that they find attractive, because everyone, or most people that I know, have had crushes on their teachers. Because it could be a mix of, oh, that teacher's cute, or it could be an attraction to authority. But that authority has to have the, common fucking sense and decency not to groom the kids. 28, shut up. Hot blonde English teacher quit after sleeping with a football player. Then we got my favorite English teacher as her replacement. Nice. Here in Mexico, a lot of schools are like prisons. No one leaves, no one gets in unless the principal opens the gate with the key they have with them always. Honestly, they need to do that. They need to start doing that. Principal of private school I used to go to in elementary was oddly friendly to me. My parents spotted it and pulled me out. Years later, he got arrested. Jesus. It's like, but we'll get into this more as we go in. But there is an alarming amount of predators when it comes to teachers. And there's this show that I watch on HBO Max. Well, used to watch on HBO Max because they canceled it after 2 seasons. It's called Undercover Underage, where this group of women and dudes and stuff, they work with law enforcement. They actively work with law enforcement on where they set up decoys of kids and teenagers of various ages. One of their decoys that I think was about 12 years old was contacted by a man who worked as a teacher. Another one that they caught, if I'm remembering the episode correctly, was contacting their decoy that was the age, framed to be the age of about 13. And then he was asking, oh, do you have any younger siblings or friends that are younger? Then she was like, "Oh yeah, I have a friend that's 8 and has a infant sister." This person was interested in both the 8-year-old and the infant, and it was found out that he was a CPS worker. He worked with CPS, the people who are supposed to be taking children out of bad places. People like this are everywhere, and it's disgusting. It I don't know. I don't know how people like this are everywhere and they're in position to power. I don't know. But anyways, we're only 48 seconds into this. We didn't even start the podcast yet. Let's just keep going before I make this more like it's going to get depressing, but it's already depressing.
And really quick, so much love for Rich and what he is doing and the purpose of this. All the AdSense and money that this video generates is going to be donated to the Buffalo, New York Family Justice Center. And the other reason it is running is because in order to reach as many people as possible, this is how you have to do it. Otherwise, it gets restricted. And we didn't want that for this message. Angry Cops, Rich, we will support you till the end of times with this. And I know all of you will do the same. We here, you all, we defend those who might need a little help or who don't have a voice. So again, viewer discretion is advised.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Unsubscribed Podcast. Rich has something important to say and we would like for you all to hear it.
You ready to get sued?
Yeah. No.
Let's go.
All right, so this is this is real, and this can affect my life, but it's at the moment where it's one of those things where you got to do the right thing or not. And I didn't want to ruin the actual podcast with it. I wanted to wait till later on just in case. So here's the deal. I've been in SVU in the Buffalo Police Department for 2 years, and there was a space in between it where I left SVU, the Special Victims Unit, and I went to two other. I got promoted to lieutenant, and then went to the FBI and assisted with that, and I'm back in SVU. But during those 2 years, even before then, there has been an issue where the Buffalo school system, specifically their legal representatives in the city, like the city attorneys.
Are we watching? We are watching Angry Cops, aka Rich, talking about shit that's happening in the Buffalo, New York school system. And then we're going to be watching a few other clips and stuff that are talking about it. And I'm sure you guys have seen the article or whatever that somebody published saying like, "Oh yeah, that this SVU detective is talking about this, but you know, he has a rocky past." It's like, who the fuck cares if he has a little bit of a rocky fucking past? With all the places that he has worked, he has so much respect across the internet, across the people he has been working with. Why would this man go out of his way to ruin his career by talking about shit like this? It's just... I fucking hate it, man. Yeah, I'll put this at 1.25. Oh, not that. Shut up, phone.
That specifically work for Buffalo Public Schools, right? So I'm not sure if that's the city of Buffalo buying these attorneys and having them protect them, or if it's like the schools, like lawyers for the schools, is their own thing. But either way, long story short, the Buffalo school system has been intentionally not reporting the assaults of student between student, and then has also used the Buffalo Police Department's school resource officers to write reports and then had their influence over those officers to then close the reports. And that's a story I'll get into.
Right, so soft pitch, why are they doing that?
It's like, heck, it's like, okay, I have this post up just because he references it. Angry Cops posted underneath this saying, 2 years ago, a Buffalo public school student was raped in a school by a pool, and the principal did her own investigation and closed the case, never reported it. A year later, the child reported it to the police, but there is no video available because you never reported it. Like, I already knew that New York is a shithole. We already know that New York should probably be walled off from the rest of the United States. But this is fucking ridiculous.
I don't know. My best estimate is that they're afraid or don't want the numbers to show that there are these police investigations occurring at their schools or assaults occurring at their schools because it could affect funding or something somehow, which, by the way, is fucking stupid. If a crime happens at a school, it doesn't mean that funding is then stopped or prevented from going to that school. Oftentimes, if there's a problem, people will pour money into that problem to fix it. And I'm going to give you an example. This is a real example. There's a school that...
You know, I think one thing that mostly blocks things from actually happening, besides the school attorneys and everything, this is just my guess, but I'm sure it's probably going to get looked into at some point during this whole thing that's happening. Gotta look into the teachers' unions. That's what you have to do. Because the teachers' union, for some reason, has so much power over everybody else. If they don't want a teacher to be gotten rid of, they will make sure that teacher keeps their job. If they're like, oh yeah, we'll fix this problem if you give us more money, that's what the funding would go into. It's not going to fix the problem that's happening in the schools. It's essentially a fucking bribe. Okay, let's just continue.
It's attached to the Buffalo Science Museum. That school that's attached to the Buffalo Science Museum has doors that can go from the Science Museum into the school. Those doors are not locked. Individuals can get into them, right? Stranger danger, right? And that happened. So a stranger went into the school. It's a grade school. It's a very low school. And this person grabbed a male and a female child.
It's a very low school?
Low grade school.
Okay.
So
like first through fifth.
Yeah. So so kids under the age of 10.
Oh, fuck.
So it goes into the school and grabs a young female child and a male child and tries to leave. And I'm gonna parcel this story up in kind of the way that the information came in. At first, the information that came in was that there was one female child that was an attempted abduction. There was no report about the second child. Kind of a big deal. The second child, the boy, had pissed himself. And when his parents came, sorry, I'm getting fucked up. When his parents came to pick him up,
Take your time, brother.
yeah, sorry. Give me a second.
You good?
You're all right, man.
When his parents came to pick him up, the school did not disclose to the parent that the kid was a part of an attempted abduction. So when parents asked him, why did my kid piss his pants at school? The teachers and the people in charge did not tell them that there was an attempted abduction. The school then deleted the video of the attempted abduction.
The fuck?
In the district attorney's office, excuse me.
It's like, I can see there being, like, just besides wanting to cover up an attempted fucking abduction from a school, I can see at least, like, 2 other reasons that they would have deleted this video to cover their asses. 1, because the doors were not secured and people can just walk into that fucking school and no one would know the wiser. And 2, what did that attempted kidnapper look like? Those are the 2 other reasons that I could think of why they would try to cover this up. I don't know, man. It's like, why is it always in everything, people are like, yes, children are the most vulnerable in our society. They are the ones that need to be protected the most. But when something happens, they ignore it just as fast. Why is it like that? Oh yeah, we need to protect the kids, but we really don't care if something actually happens to them.
And the district attorney's office only got it because somebody within the school had the wherewithal to record it and then give it to them. The district attorney's office has sent subpoenas, so like court order documents from judges that are signed, to the school's legal representatives, and those representatives have intentionally not responded to them. Now, here's the weird thing, which is like this is the biggest issue right here. Is that specific one is the one that sent me over the edge. Obviously, I'm emotional from it. So, the biggest issue with this entire story, well, one of the issues with this entire story, is that when subpoenaed, these legal representatives for the Buffalo School Department are ignoring the subpoenas and not just not responding to them, but being obstructionists and actually giving information to school administrators and school personnel to not talk to the police or assist the police in any way. In fact, to obstruct us, like intentionally, do not do these things. Here's how you prevent the police from doing their job. So, and here's where like this crux is coming in, why it's kind of a whistleblower thing is there are people that are trying to get this information from the schools, and the main obstructionists are these lawyers who, once again, I said, are ignoring subpoenas and court orders.
And it's like, again, I know this is brought up later, but I'm sure one reason that some teachers are just terrified of speaking up is because they know that they will get blacklisted from teaching ever again. Because even though it is illegal, like, it's supposed to be illegal to, like, you know, talk bad about a former employee and everything, but blacklist exists. As soon as you are seen as a problem and you're seen as a snitch, they will make sure you never work in teaching again. Whistleblower protections are a joke? Yeah, I mean, look at the Boeing whistleblowers. Oh man, none of them are alive anymore. Or almost none of them are alive anymore. It's like there's legal protections, but people are still gonna come after you. But even then, the legal protections are bare bones. And words, please. What Boeing whistleblowers? Exactly. Oh, let me get some of these super chats really quick before we keep going. All right, Lou, I already did yours. Hello, LumLum. When I was in school, the girl swooned over a new 26-year-old teacher. Some 20 years later, he went to jail for 3 years. Already read that one. Dave the Red. Unfortunately, predators track down their prey to their watering holes. Guess where the children are? Guess who preys on them? Yep. Ellis Serrana. Hey, LumLum. I saw the AI music channel that you had a close encounter. The aliens couldn't find him. Jesus Christ. Oh, I need to get caught up on that channel. Hello, LumLum. Off topic, I looked it up. Your anniversary on Archcast is June 8th. Hopefully, Arch will get you more than just foot cheese. I can't believe it's here. Ellis Serrana, silly LumLum. Everyone knows there's no war in Bossing Say. Yep. And Kyle Body for LumLum to have Arch on. A doll Arch will be on. Actual Archie's free to jump on if he wants to. And then I can be like, Arch, why are you so fucking stupid? And Bell's Quill, thank you. 9 months, Jesus Christ. Thank you for being a member for 9 months. Bureaucratic laziness and corruption. It's been affecting my hometown school district my entire life. Hate how easy corruption is. Yep.
And the only way that you can overcome that is if somebody from the court system judge, attorney general's office in New York State, the attorney general of the United States, comes down and says, why are you not responding to these court orders? You're ordered to respond to them and you're not. And in this specific case, like destruction of evidence, which is huge. And then not telling one of the kid's parents.
Now, if somebody comes forward, you said somebody had the wherewithal to record the surveillance video or whatever it was.
Yeah.
If somebody comes forward with that, that's still usable as evidence.
So they have to, person, that's a weird thing about New York State. And I'm not a lawyer, and my knowledge is limited in that, but from my understanding, you need to have somebody confirm the authenticity of the recording. So let's say that it's a CCTV of like a corner store. The manager or a worker would have to show up to court and say, that is the video that from my store. When it comes from, and I don't know if this is how it was done, but let's say like a cell phone recorded the CCTV footage, and then they were like, hey, they deleted the real CCTV footage, and then gave it to the assistant district attorney. You would need somebody to authenticate that, which would, and this is where the legal process is weird to me. I'm not sure if that means that the individual that sent the CCTV recording from their phone would have to state, I'm so-and-so, I recorded that with my phone. I was in the office of such and such school, and this is recording of our CCTV footage. Or if that means that any representative from the school can say, no, what that person recorded is our CCTV footage.
Gotcha. So whoever recorded versus anyone can say yes and verify that.
So I'm not sure, like that's something for like the lawyers to do. I'm not sure how that process goes, but yeah.
Oh, it's like even that pisses me off because it's some of the legal proceedings for New York, it just seems like they're purposely vague so they can bend it to whatever way that they really want it to go. Like with that, if it's just like, oh no, not the person that recorded this, but it has to be a representative of the school, like the principal or something like that, then they could just be like, oh no, that's not our school. No, that's fake. Nope, that's not our school. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. Purposely vague is just legislation in general. There needs to be a little more, specifics when it comes to that type of thing.
School district did that?
Dude, I'm telling you, it's a lot of the schools. When I say that's the worst example that I have, which is obviously a horrible example, I can't tell you the amount of shit that I have to go through in order to go to a school, talk to a principal and say, what did the kid tell you? And they'll go, I can't talk to you. I've got to talk to my lawyers. They're like, it's in your job to protect the kids? I can't tell you how many... I'll tell you another one. I had a girl that was, man, I'm getting fucked up.
That's fucking wild. Like, especially if your own kiddo and then you don't even know, they come home, they're scared, they're confused, they have no idea what just happened, and then no one's telling them. Like,
you were
like,
the loyalty to the money above the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
I think it's a mix of fear. I think it's the fear of there's a lot of shit there. I don't think it's like dirty money. I think it's a fear of losing your job. It's a fear of the people that are above you that are going to come back and get you. I think it's the fear of stepping out of line and then getting reprimanded.
Bystander.
But like one of the cases that I had is a girl went to she got beat by her dad, who's a blood. He's a piece of shit. She got beat by her dad, and she went to a school counselor and said, my dad beats me. And the school counselor didn't report it. School counselor's like notes were like, this kid's a liar. She lies a lot about like how cool she was at another school. And you're like, oh, that's normal kid lying shit. What do I give a fuck about that? So she didn't report.
It's like even this hits a little close to home. Not me specifically, but I had a friend whose dad was running with a gang, and like he'd get beat a lot. It's like no one cared either. That's the thing, because this is when I was in, I think, middle school. And the middle school that I went to was like, it just kind of hugging, kind of where the ghetto was and everything. So there was a lot of kids whose families were in gangs or like, associated and everything. So a lot of people just kind of ignored it. But then one week she wasn't in school for about 2.5 weeks because apparently her, like, a friend of her dad's or something beat her face so bad that she couldn't see. Her eyes were so swollen she couldn't see. No, she was legitimately a friend. She wasn't me. It was a friend. My dad got out of the gang life before I was born. Yes, I'm sure. If it was me, I would have said it was me. I probably would have been crying just because if it was me. No, this was legitimately a friend. My dad got out of the life before I was born. So no, don't worry, guys. It ain't me. Guys, for real, it's not me. It's legitimately a friend of mine. I have other traumas. It's not that trauma. Don't worry. I was never beat like that. I was beat with the belt, but I was never beat like that. How's your friend now? Oh, I don't know. I kind of lost contact with her after she got into some hard drugs. A lot of my friends either got into hard drugs or started doing theater. Yeah, but let's continue.
Report it. And then the next incident happened where this girl had a video recording of, I forget if it was either her dad post beating her or if it was during the beating or if it was of her injuries. I think it was of her dad punching her. And she walks into the counselor's office while she's with another girl, plays the video, and the woman's like, "Is that you?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's me." And then the girl walks out of the office. And then later on in the day, the counselor goes up to her and is like, "Hey, listen, what's going on with that video? Like, is that you? Like, what's going on?" She's like, "Yeah, that's me. My dad beats me all the time." And then the kid walked away. Not reported. Not reported. Not reported to CPS, not reported to the police. The third time is when my case comes in. The kid comes into school beaten and bruised and swollen, and then they remove the kid from the parent's custody, right? And then that's when I get the investigation of child abuse.
But it took 3 fucking times.
It took 3 times. The first time, it's easy. Hey, CPS, this girl says that she got beat. I don't really know what's going on. Here you go. And then CPS begins an investigation. And then the law enforcement referral from CPS comes to me. And then if CPS brings her in, does an interview, and it's valid, I go talk to dad and arrest her. That didn't happen the first time. The second time, there's video fucking proof. She's got a video on her phone and shows you. And then you do nothing. And yeah. And so like that, those are the two. That's one that I'm directly involved in. That's one that I happen to know about that I'm not investigating. And I can tell you that myself and the people in my unit are concerned, but we've made complaints, and people in my chain of command above me have made complaints, and we've had to go back to be like, let's look at this address of the school. What's that?
What's the outcome you want on this? Like what I don't.
I want the one school counselor that I investigated arrested for failing to report. You're not a school counselor if you don't know how to tell people that a child's being abused. She needs to be arrested or at least charged. If you want to put her on probation, fucking fine. But something needs to happen. And I'm not saying it needs to happen as like there's no legal system. I'm saying that there has to be a repercussion so then people who see if you don't report because you didn't report, that there's repercussions.
So like the people aren't reporting because.
Well, yeah, it's like there has to be a legal repercussions with this because teachers, school counselors, anyone who works with children are mandated reporters. By law, they need to be mandated reporters. There should be legal repercussions for it. Whether it's, again, like he said, getting fired from her job, or legally having to pay a fine if they do not report it. Because, like, some other day, we will watch some other videos from the channel The Misery Machine, where the system absolutely fails children who were killed because mandated reporters didn't do anything. Children ranging from infants to school-age kids. It's shockingly common how much mandated reporters don't report what's going on. It's not just like one or two states that's doing this. these are so many different states, some more often than others. But the entire system that is supposed to be quote unquote protecting kids hasn't been doing it for decades. It's like, everyone knows it's a broken system in every state, every city, every county. Everybody knows it's a broken system, but no one is doing shit to fix it. And the horrifying thing is, we don't know how to even start. We don't know where to start to fix it. Okay. Let's continue.
Because they're worried the system will fuck them. But if you don't report, the system will fuck you too.
So
like you need to do your job.
It's like this dual concern, right? You don't have to talk to the police. Like, everybody has their own individual rights for self-preservation. You know, your Fourth Amendment rights. You don't have to, Miranda rights. You don't have to talk to me. But it's different when you're a mandated reporter. And it's different when parents aren't being told why their kid. If you've got a kid, you've got a kid. You don't have a kid yet. Not you either. If you picked up your fucking toddler from school and they piss themselves and they're crying, and you're like, oh my God, what's Jimmy? What's going on with you? The first thing you do is go up to the teacher and be like, hey, what happened? And you would expect a real answer. Somebody tried to steal Jimmy. What you wouldn't expect is for that school to delete video footage. What you wouldn't expect is for that school to be like, oh, you know what? I'm not sure. Something happened. You'll have to talk to an administrator about it.
Oh my God. Okay, this reminds me of another fucking thing that I learned a couple years ago that really fucking pisses me off. Because, alright, I'm sure we all know what daycares are, right? The expensive fucking thing that you pay $400 a week for your kids to go to. I learned that daycares legally are not required to have security cameras in their buildings to show what's going on in those buildings every day. I learned this after hearing about a case of a child who was fatally injured at a daycare, and police were looking for, like, evidence. People were looking for security footage. And I learned that day that they are not legally obligated to have security cameras in daycares. Because they're private businesses, and I don't know why daycares aren't, they don't have to. They don't have to. I don't understand why. It's like when I first heard it, I thought it was fake. I was like, no, there's no way that... Nope, it's real. It's... Oh, God. Again, let's keep going.
I'm not sure, about it. It's people that are afraid of doing the right thing. Like, these school teachers and principals are afraid to do the right thing. And like I said, we can guess why. I've got my own hypothesis. This is why. But either way, they're failing to do the right thing for one reason or another. And some of them are bad. And I'll give you another example. This case might have been a fluke. It could have been like, kids experimenting and then one of them got scared. It could have been absolutely nothing. It still could be absolutely nothing. I've left 6 messages on a principal's voicemail saying, hey, I just need you to talk to me. I need the phone numbers of the parents. I only have the phone numbers of the kids. I don't want to call the kids. Please give me the phone numbers of the parents, of the adults of these kids, of the police report that you called 911 for to have police already show up. I just don't have the phone numbers for the parents, and I can't get a return phone call. How many times do I got to call a school principal to be like, hey, there's a potential sexual assault. I just need to talk to the parents. And I can't get a return phone call?
It's fucking wild.
And like, and for some reason, they're protected. And my opinion from all of this and everything else is that it is the legal representatives of the Buffalo City schools that are advising, educating, scaring, whatever you want to say it is, to these administrators.
Because of the size and laws governing recording children, basically, since they aren't related, videotaping kids can be considered CSAM in certain jurisdictions, and depending on what is recorded. It's like, I get the risk. I understand that there, like, risks of whatever. Security cameras, depending on the brand and what they're ran through, whether if the connection, everything is secure, because there is a very alarming amount of security cameras, baby monitors, everything that can be very easily hacked. There are whole websites that you can go to that you can just sit and watch CCTV footage of people's in-home security systems, baby monitors, and everything. It is fucking disgusting. And I'm just... when it comes to people watching kids, there has to be an exception. It's like, if it's in the main play area, the main rooms of the daycare, that's completely different than using like having a recording device in like, you know, the diaper changing room. But then there's other things with that, like, oh, that's where people take the kids because they know that there's no security cameras that'll capture them. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But when it comes to children that young, there has to be security cameras. Because if I learned that something happened to my kid at a daycare, which never used a daycare, never will I use a daycare because I was in daycare when I was a kid, but that's a different story. But anyways, no, I would never put my kid in a daycare because I don't trust people. I do not trust people. Hearing this stuff makes you worry about your nephew's safety. It's like, the main thing that you can do for your kids, nephews, cousins, whatever, just make sure that you have an open line of communication with them, that they trust you to talk to you about anything. That is literally the best thing that you can have for your kid, nephew, any young person in your life. An open, honest line of communication that they know that they can come to you for anything. Because that's one reason why kids don't, like, really report anything themselves, especially if they are younger. Because they are afraid that they will get in trouble. Because usually the people that are hurting them, manipulating them, whatever, will always tell them, oh, you don't want to get in trouble, do you? You have to keep our secret. Having that trust with somebody is the most important thing. Here in England, have a 13-year-old daughter worried every day about stuff like this. It's like that's why for my kiddos specifically, and she knows she has this on her. I got one of those Samsung, like they're like AirTags, but it's for Samsung Galaxy devices. I forgot what they're called specifically. Like Galaxy tags or something like that. We put one on her backpack, and it updates me whenever she leaves key locations that I programmed in the app. So whenever she leaves school, it tells me when she leaves. And then if she goes to my mom's house, then it lets me know when, like, what time she arrives there. And you can open up the app at any time, and it'll show you where the tag is on Google Maps. So it's like, I know there's only so much that you can do to make sure your kids are safe. But as long as you're doing the most that you can do, your kid knows that they can trust you, you trust them, and everything like that. That is, again, the best thing that you can do. No matter, like, the last thing you want to do is to be a helicopter parent. Because I had a helicopter parent. Yeah, I don't talk because of that, on top of other things that she did, but that's another story. But you never want to always be looking over your kid's shoulder. You want to give them a decent amount of independence, but they still know that you're looking out for their best interest. LumLum animation, you had 2 helicopter parents. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. We can do the best we can. That's all we can really do.
Administrators, teachers, counselors, don't talk to police. Don't make a police report. Have the police report, instead of say sexual assault, make it information only. Well, you want to bury a sexual assault with a kid? Have a fucking cop show up and then have them write down everybody's name and say information only, and then don't forward it to special victims unit.
Yeah.
5 kids, 7 kids are by 1 other kid in the school, right? They're 14, he's 16. It doesn't fucking matter if it's not a crime or if it was consensual. If somebody says and I felt bad about it, it's my job to investigate it. Why are you stopping that? And so, yeah, I was going to do it on the main podcast. If you want to throw it at the end, it's cool. But I might be asking for financial assistance after this goes live, but I'm okay with it because
You're doing the right thing.
it's fucking me up. It's fucking me up. I can't.
Man, if the law goes after this dude, he better open up a GoFundMe or give Send Go, something like that. So many people will help him with his legal costs. I will open up a fundraiser just to have all of us help him with legal costs, because no, we can't have somebody good like him get buried by New York or any of their corrupt fucking lawyers. News outlets in his area hate him and they went after him again for this. Oh yeah, I seen the clips, I seen the news articles, I've seen all of it. We're gonna go through those too.
Can't deal with it no more.
You know, something that I've learned from our little podcast is ever since we've opened it up to like first responders, I've read a lot of those stories in there. And first responders, like PTSD, I think it's like for the active duty military, when you go to war, it's like it's highs and lows. Like you just get a shit show or nothing. Like it's all over the place. But first responders, it's just a constant thing. And like you being in the smack dab middle of both, bro, I don't know how you do it. Like people in general, like cops in general who deal with like sex crimes or child sex crimes, I couldn't do it. I'd be going to prison.
Because it's the idea of like the, at least when you're talking about military trauma, it's like that's over there.
You're in war. Well, that's
Yeah,
the thing. You're in war. You are fighting the enemy. You're like, chances are innocent aren't. You're not taking life in innocent. It's very rare. You're fighting enemy combatants. You're shooting blah blah blah, and then you come back and you're like, oh, and it's a separation
It's
versus
like-
here. And it's not the innocent you're seeing and then interacting with or pulling up to a crime scene, as you said. It's like, hey, there was a fucking drunk driver and a baby got smeared across the road. That, and then you have to go home immediately.
And know that's
deal
going
with
on
that.
around you all the time.
Yeah,
It's like
different
it's
world.
like
It's like I agree with them on this, because the suicide rate of first responders, ER nurses, police officers, detectives, the suicide rate is fucking high as hell, especially when they deal with cases involving kids. Because the ones that could do that long term have so much fucking baggage. They have probably been in therapy since week 1, or they have a heavy drinking problem. Is this playing at 1.25 speed. The good ones are the ones we lose. Yeah. It's like first responders, it's like they don't get paid enough. Everybody in the legal field, well, nurses and everything, they don't get paid enough. First responders don't get paid enough. From what I've learned, a lot of their insurance hardly covers their therapy visits. Their therapy visits are like, they only get X amount of visits per year. And that's why a lot of them turn to the bottle. But that's also depending on certain insurance companies too. It's depressing.
It's like an acute injury versus just like sustained overuse injury almost.
Yeah.
Like I would join the military and go to war over being a police officer. I'm so sorry. Any day.
Paper towels.
Paper towels. I got it right here. Boom. Because of that exact,
That was
you're gonna get pink
Get
lip.
the smelling
Are
salts.
you available later?
Did you just do a line of energy drink?
Yeah.
Ooh, I feel better after getting all that off my fucking chest.
Well, thank you for dude, brother.
Bro,
thank
you
you.
have a-
Thank you.
Dude,
for sharing, brother.
I'm honestly like, I'm like for real. Like I'm fucking. I feel like there is going to be. I am going to have some sort of repercussions because I'm trying to do the right thing.
We got your
Like I
back.
feel like people.
You have so many
Yeah.
people that will have your back
Oh,
on
yeah.
that.
Dude,
We will show our ass to make that
I
happen.
did that already.
Well, on a different issue, yeah, you did literally do that. but-
Do cops have whistleblower protection? I know military does. Like, honest question.
Well, there's a whistleblower protection for everybody. So yeah, and like, if there's like a legal thing where they're going to come after me, I bet you there's going to be a legal thing where they come after me, and I don't know how I'm going to be protected or what that's going to be.
It's
whenever
worked
it
out for
comes.
you so far.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know what I don't know what's going to be so far, but like the things that I just said, you know, right? And because I'm concerned about them, it's like you said, the one case is mine, and that's how I know about it. But like these are concerns from higher ranking people in the Buffalo Police Department. These are concerns from patrol people in the Buffalo Police Department. These are concerns from the district attorney's office. Like the district attorney's office is like, yo, Rich, like I know what you're dealing with. This is fucked up. I've got this. I've got that. This is going on. That's how I know that. Like the lawyers from, or that's the information that I'm getting that, you know, back up that thinking that the lawyers that represent the schools are not just not responding, but also obstructionists, which is, you know, what the, you know, like, and if I can be frank, I think everybody in the world is going to be like, so let me get this right. You're a lawyer, and instead of assisting the police department in protecting kids because you represent the schools, instead of assisting them, you're going to intentionally obstruct them. You're going to not respond to subpoenas. You're going to.
You know, it's like the overall trust in school systems are already at an all-time fucking low. With stuff like this coming out, we're probably going to see the lowest record of public school enrollments for next school year. Because nobody is going to trust anybody anymore. We are already a very low trust society. Things like this just make it worse. It's just... Don't think private schools are much better? Just schools in general. It's like there's a handful of very good schools still out there. I am extremely lucky with the schools in my area. They're all absolutely fucking fantastic. There's like maybe only one or two teachers that were just absolutely the fucking worst. But they either ran over state lines because they were getting chased by the cops, or they retired, or finally died because they're old fucking bitches. But with a good portion of the schools around my area, besides maybe one or two, they're great. I am so lucky. And I also have family members that do work in the schools as well. We are too trusting of a society. In America, nobody trusts anybody anymore. Nobody trusts anybody anymore in America. There's again, smaller towns are different than larger cities and stuff. Because the smaller the town, the more tight-knit people are. The more tight-knit people are, the more trust that there is. But then as soon as more larger developments start being built around smaller towns wanting to expand, then that is when trust starts to degrade. So if anything, it's the cities that are the problem.
And not respond to court orders. You're going to think that you're so high above the law and you've got no repercussions have happened to them, because like you need somebody above a judge. Like, what's the judge going to do? Hey, give this to me. Yeah, I haven't given you anything, and I'm not going to give you anything, and nothing happens. Like, where the fuck else do you go? The commissioner of police can't do shit about that. I mean, maybe we can make an arrest here or there, but then we need the assistant district attorneys and the district attorney of Erie County to have her back and do that. And if there's assistant district attorneys that are like, dude, these lawyers aren't even responding to us. Like, we don't know like, we got to get somebody higher above our DA to do something, or the DA to do something. I don't know, like, who can do something. And it's gotten so bad in the schools that, like, this is my, like, I don't know, I just got, like, talking to a shrink and fucking and this.
I just hate how bad it's gotten to the fact where you believe that the unsubscribed podcast is the best outlet because Jesus Christ.
Bro.
I mean, on the plus side,
I can guarantee this will light a fuck. Fuck that
on the plus
That's
side
part two because it's like we know you, we love you, we're here for you. Like we're
I know
ride or
you
die.
guys will do your best to protect me, but at the same time, like if these people are like, hey, because I know what's going to happen, right? I'm not an idiot. I've been around the legal system long enough, and I know how if you shake the right tree, something's going to happen. Like I know what's going to happen is they're going to say that whatever I said, they're going to pick it apart. They're going to go through all my videos. They're going to go through this right now, what I'm saying, and they're going to go, you violated this, and this of your department's policy and procedure, and they're going to go, and you violated this, and this of whatever procedure, and you should be fired. You need to be removed. You're suspended, and here you go. And so what's going to happen is a guy, myself, if I can toot my own horn, who's a hard worker, who's been crushing his cases, who my lieutenant and my chief of detectives can vouch is like an asset in whatever unit I go to, especially under the investigative unit of being special victims or others. Like
a good ass cop.
Yeah.
Like,
So
a good ass police officer.
So I know that I just know the squeeze is going to happen to where there's going to be, I feel like there's going to be negative repercussions on my career, and they're going to come after me for it because just that. If nobody else has done this yet, why?
Wait, can we? I guarantee we could pull way more money than their attorneys do. I guarantee we can pull way.
Do we know who the attorneys are?
I don't know the names of the attorneys. But I can say that they are the attorneys that represent the Buffalo school system, and that they are attorneys that have been receiving subpoenas, and that those attorneys that have been receiving.
You know, those attorneys most likely have their names somewhere on the school board website. Those names have to be somewhere because they, or if the school system has had any other legal things, those attorneys probably have already been known to the public at some point. Granted, I'm sure the attorneys' names have already been found, already posted everywhere. Those people should not have the ability to hide.
Receiving the subpoenas have not been responding to them.
I'm pretty comfortable dying on the hill of protecting kids.
Which is like
totally
morally, I'm 100% in the right. Morally, like fuck off. I know what I'm doing, but that doesn't mean there's not going to be negative repercussions. And like that's one of those weird things where like I love being a cop. I'm not going to stop being a cop. I could have this career, but I love being a cop.
Took the internet less than 3 hours since the stop.
My thing is I think they're going to suspend me for an investigation. They're going to take a good detective that does the right things off the fucking streets for an indefinite period of time. What my biggest fear is, I don't think I'll lose my job for it, even though I know they'll come after me for it. My next biggest fear is that they're just going to take me off the table and they're going to fucking put me on administrative leave for 10 years until I'm forced to retire, and I'm never going to be able to help a kid again. And that's going to make me cry.
As he sips from his bad bitch mug.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that
I
doesn't
love arresting
happen.
bad guys.
You make a change,
I
brother.
feel like Rich is
You got contacts in the White House? You got contacts in the Pentagon?
I'll put it this way: we got some contacts that could probably make this
terrifying for a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, you know,
it's all fun and games until you get a call from your boss's boss's boss.
Yeah. So like
in DC.
So I knew, and like not to pump you guys up, but you're kind of a big deal.
You ever see Good Will Hunting?
With that?
Good Will Hunting.
What about it? Yeah, one of my favorite movies.
Is that the autistic guy who
Williams. What's Robert Williams selling? It's not your fault.
Oh, bro, don't
It's not your fault.
Yeah, that's my line.
It's not your fault.
It's not my fault. I know. Well, I didn't cause the situation, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to catch flack for it. And I'm okay with catching flack for it. What I don't want is to like not do the thing that I'm good at that I love.
We'll make sure that never happens.
Yeah, you got a
have
couple million
word on that
homies.
one,
Yeah.
brother. We will dump whatever's needed to keep that going.
goes to war.
I'll fucking
Looking at our combined numbers, it's like my gang's bigger than yours.
Yeah.
Man. Hey guys, remember what Arch said on his channel? Look it, guys. It's the Buster Sword. I needed just a little laugh before I get sad again. No, that's the Dragon Slayer, Arch. Fucking Buster Sword, Arch. What's wrong with you?
Like,
I mean, I don't know if I'm invited, but I'm down. Let's do it.
Yeah. So,
fuck. Well, that was a little heavy.
Is it not a crime for the mandated reporter to not report it, though?
Yes.
say that again.
Is it not a crime for the mandated reporter to
So
not report?
let me tell you something, right? It's a slippery slope, which is one of the reasons why I think there's been like some pushback. I don't say pushback, but it's a slippery slope, and that's why it's difficult to charge not reporting when you're a mandated reporter. In New York State, there is New York State penal law. I forget which one it is, but it's failing to report, right? Now, that can fall under, I'll give you two examples that are very different, right? Failing to report can be a situation that I talked about the girl going to a school counselor and saying, you know, something's happening to me and I'm not reporting it, right? It can also, technically under the law, right, the white and black of it, it can also be done if you beat up your kid, a 911 call, and I'm a police officer and I come up and I arrest you for that and I take you to jail, but I don't report it. So that's one of the things that's kind of keeping like the police, I think, potentially at bay, is that there's instances where the police made an arrest, but they didn't report, which is like, to me is bullshit. They made the arrest has been effected. A rookie cop would assume that I've done literally the highest amount of shit I can do. I've effected an arrest. I haven't just taken a report and sent it forward. I've made an arrest. New York State now knows that this person has been arrested for child abuse, and they bring him in. And so I know.
You know, it's like I get what he's saying with this and with the rookie cop thing and everything. But they already have to write up a report for the crime and everything. They have to write a report on what happened, had to write a report on the arrest, had to write a report on what happened afterwards. That should count as a fucking report. Because it's gonna go to the needed authorities anyway.
That's one of the issues when it comes to going for somebody that has a failure report, because if the legal system is the legal system, if you do it for one person, you got to do it for them all. And sometimes, you know, people in the legal system don't see the gray, and the gray is the police officer made a good judgment by effecting the arrest and maybe failed to report. But in that failure to report, it wasn't an intentional failure to report. He made an arrest and assumed that was enough, which I think we can all agree is like an understandable mistake.
Yeah.
Right? You put that in front
when
of
you have a good system, it works.
Yeah.
You know, if you effect an arrest, why should you have to make a report? That should be done by maybe a report technician or by New York State by checking a box and saying, oh, hey, this person was arrested for this. We'll fill out this report automatically from CPS. But that's very different from my example of the school counselor failing to report not once, and I'll even let that one slide. Like, fuck it. Hey, my dad beats me. All right, this kid's a liar a little bit. Where are the bruises? I don't see any bruises. Well, I stay home, so then I don't have bruise up that well. Like, all right, this is weird. You should report that. But everybody makes a mistake. All right, cool. You got one. But if some kid fucking shows up to you with a recording on their phone and says, hey, this is me, and then walks away, and then later on in the day, you go back to that kid and then confirm that it's them, fuck off. You don't get to do your job anymore because you can't. You're inept. So those are two different things. And that's one of the things that I've noticed is like this slippery slope thing. If you go against a counselor that did the obvious wrong, that can bring in litigation to say, well, we have to treat the officers that didn't do the CPS report, Child Protective Services report, when they made the arrest. But at the same time, like I said, there's gray, there's understanding. There is, what do we call it? Officer discretion. That officer discretion can be passed on to the fucking ADAs. Which means that if I see something happen, let's say a traffic ticket, you go through a stop sign, I have the discretion to not give you a stop sign ticket. The ADAs, the district attorney, has the discretion to say, all right, you effected an arrest. You weren't intentionally not reporting a CPS thing. You made an arrest and thought that was good enough. You made a mistake. Hey, next time, fix that, right? And then you also have the discretion to then arrest that school counselor that fucked up until the third time that kid came into school black and blue, and I had to arrest her blood father.
That's crazy.
So
policing.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it. It's great. And I never expected to have like this emotional like reaction to it, but like
it seems like the dichotomy between like it's awful to experience, but it's also awful knowing that if I'm not there to stop it, it'll keep going.
Yeah, and I can't deal with that. Like, dude, it's like being to fucking pump my own horn. It's like being a drill sergeant. If I see a private fuck up and they do the wrong thing, and all the other drill sergeants are like, well, you gotta be careful on that one. That one might make a complaint on you. I'm like, fuck that. I'm doing the right thing, and I'm gonna discipline that private. Well, the same thing here. Like, fuck the people that aren't doing their job. They should do their job. Especially when it comes to kids. Especially when it comes to kids. And if you make a mistake, all right, hey, listen, we're reasonable people. We made a mistake. Don't do that again. Okay, cool. If you are, what would you call it? Reckless.
A cover-up.
A cover-up. Intentionally preventing the district attorney's office from gathering information after you're subpoenaed by court orders or judges, etc., then fuck you. If you're deleting evidence?
Yeah, it's like, again, there's a difference between a mistake and intent. I don't know how people can get those mixed up. And again, I don't fucking know. Some of the lawyers in New York City are worse than the rats in the sewers. Maybe cities with a population of more than 1 million should be a city-state separate from their own wider state. Honestly, I can fucking agree with that. Because, honestly, if a city has a population that's more than an entire state, like more than an entire other state, yeah, no, it should be its own thing, man. Ugh. Because, like, I don't know. Granted, that's also getting into some other legal territory that I know nothing about. Absolutely nothing about. But, you know, we can be happy to do so. Remember those city-states would get yeah, you know, that's right. They'd get more legal say in shit. Want that either. Yeah, whatever. Let's continue.
You. So it's come to that point where oh man, I've been like stressing out about it for like the past like 5 days. Ever since I like decided that something had to happen and I didn't know what to do. And I was like, man, I think I'm gonna bring it up on the podcast.
We got your back. I'll fucking
Yeah, you are a bad bitch.
Dude, I picked the right mug.
Dude, thank you.
So,
I'm not
Thank
gonna lie
you.
though.
Thank you first off. First off, hey, thank you.
Yeah,
Seriously, from
dead serious.
thank you, brother. Like that takes a lot of balls doing the right thing. A lot of people don't do the right thing as
wanna
it
put
said.
my arm around you.
Don't touch
It's taken so much to not hug you
Yeah,
this
like,
whole time.
I know Rich
Don't do
doesn't
it on
want me to-
camera. I don't people don't need to see me be all weepy and
how do
shit.
you want us to start?
What's that?
How do you want us to start?
I think that if
I think
this,
we just did.
yeah.
No, I know we did. Just what's
think-
the opening move?
I'm not gonna lie. Like hearing you talk about that, and then Brandon brought up the whole like, you know, if you're not there, then who else is gonna do
Dude,
it?
there's a lot of people that care that don't know what to do, and they're like, we're trying to do it, we're trying to move it forward, and I'm like, it's not fast enough. This isn't. You know what? We've been in the same spot for 2 years. Heaven help us if how long we've been in that same spot before I got to the Special Victims Unit. Right? I know we've been in the same spot since I became a detective and went to the Special Victims Unit in 2023. And if we were still in that, if that spot is where we're at now, I don't know how far back that beginning was. And like I said, there's a lot of good people in the ADA's office, in the commissioner's office of my police department. There are good people that have been trying to find a way to fix it, and they're frustrated, and they're limited with what they can do. They're just limited. Like, hey man, I'm pushing up the chain of command. I keep making these things. I keep saying these things, and I'm doing it. I'm not ignoring it.
Hold on, let me pause real quick. One, Akko, thank you for the raid. I really appreciate it. And we're talking about depressing shit today. And two, because for some reason the goal ended for the super chat thing, and I set it to 3 hours. But whatever. You know what? I lost track of funny things. But here you go. You guys got doll art now. Anyways, let's continue. Actually, hold on, I need to scoot over a little. There we go.
And like I said, it's been weighing on me. I started getting counseling last week.
No, that's a good thing though. That's a really good thing.
It's been fucking me up.
It's
So
absolutely
I got counseling last week, and then
Proud of you, brother.
yeah, thank you. And then a couple days ago, I couldn't sleep.
And we'll make a difference the best we can.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Well, Rich, I think we can all say you're not ever going to be jobless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but man, I really like this job. I tell you, the police. I mean, I'm talking about police. Man, I really love being a cop. Man, I love being a cop.
Well, outside of all the millions of fake people, we all love you, brother.
Yeah, shut up. All right, let's say some jokes for the after show now.
Hey, Rich. I speak for the entire table. We will always have your back, no matter what, buddy. The entire community will rally behind you. Thank you so much for opening up, showing that side to the world. You and your lady, Tay, are amazing, amazing humans. Be proud of everything you've accomplished in this life and continue to accomplish. And you guys are going to be fantastic parents. We are blessed to call you a friend. We are blessed to share the room with you and experience those laughs. We're blessed to call you a business partner. Keep kicking ass and taking names, man. To the audience out there that might not know Rich, Angry Cops, you're talking to a dude that loves being a police officer, loves being a detective, most importantly, loves helping others. He is still in the military as a drill sergeant. He doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to be a police officer. He chooses to be because he actually cares and he actually wants to make a difference. That is so rare to find a human like that. And that's why he is a very, very, very good friend, and why I stress how lucky we are to have an individual like that in our lives. Be proud of yourself, man. I hope you know that. That is from all the love from all the guys. We are just blessed to have you in our lives, my friend. And I know it wasn't easy doing that message. Crying on camera and then crying in front of others it's difficult. It's not an easy thing putting yourself out there like that. And you did. And you have so much respect from all of us. So thank you, buddy. Thank you for being who you are, my friend. I love you, my man. I'd give you a hug if I could.
Ugh, it's so depressing, man. And it's just amazing that he still does work as a drill sergeant and he's a detective. That is a lot of dedication to doing something that you love. And that's good on him, honestly. When guys like these say they're gonna die on a hill, it's going to get a little higher before the end. Exactly. Ozzy Artstall knew? Yes. it's like it was something that I was thinking of getting for the model for a while, just because it'd be funny. And since he likes Starship Trooper so much, I put him in his little Starship Trooper uniform that he likes using for his other avatar. It's almost obsession, though, isn't it? How much free time does he have? I mean, he's doing something that he loves. It's not obsession, it's passion. I know there's a fine line between passion and obsession, but he's not unhealthy with it. Because he also does YouTube as well. Does Arch like it? I don't know. I sent him a picture of it. He didn't react to it. I don't know. I think it's because he knows I'm gonna put his soul in it for the next Lumi cast. He's no longer gonna be in the basement. He's just gonna be in the doll. But anyways, let's continue with the shit that happened after this podcast episode came out. So, we got a post from the Buffalo Public School System Twitter page. Where they said... Capture. They said, statement from the Buffalo Public Schools. Buffalo, New York, April 26, 2025. The Buffalo Public School District is aware of unfortunate and recent allegations circulating in an online video. The district is prepared to vigorously address these untruths. The district has prioritized the safety and security of its students and staff every day. BPS is the second largest district in New York State with some 60 schools, 30,000 students, and 7,000 staff, and any transgressions that may happen are handled swiftly with seriousness, integrity, fairness, and empathy. The Buffalo Public Schools maintain a close and professional relationship with the Buffalo Police Department as a means to ensure that safety is a priority. Now, you can see right here, if I scoot this to the side, this post has been community noted, saying the untruths are facts presented by an active Buffalo PD SVU detective. Buffalo Public Schools deleted video evidence of an attempted child abduction, did not inform the child's parents, and is deliberately obstructing the police investigation. So yeah, it's a little bit of bullshit on their part. And the public reaction was swift. You angry cops. You angry cops. Just angry cops. 2 years ago, a BPS student was raped in a school by a pool, and the principal, quote, did her own investigation and closed the case. Never reported it. A year later, the child reported it to police, but there was no video available because you never reported it. Then the fat electrician. Is this just the... Oh, it's just podcast episode. Buffalo schools deleted video evidence of an attempted child abduction. They hid it from the parents. They also failed to report a girl being beaten by her father multiple times. The video series. Are people complaining because the podcast episode is long? Oh no, 37 minutes. That's not shit. The fat electrician also said, as a public institution, deleting comments based on viewpoint violates the First Amendment. Oh shit, hold on. Yeah, they were hiding comments, weren't they? Oh, they weren't. Okay, good. Just... Also, why would they say untruths? Why not just say a lie? But whatever, I guess. Anyway, someone also replied to that thread with this. Former Buffalo teacher pleads guilty to attempted endangering the welfare of a child. This was March 14th, 2025. Buffalo, New York. The Erie Country District Attorney's Office announced that 36-year-old Stephen C. DeMart of Amherst, whatever, pleaded guilty in Amherst Town Court to one count of attempted endangering the welfare of a child. The DA said DeMart communicated with an adult who he thought was a child. On multiple occasions through social media apps, he also sent sexually explicit videos. On May 28th, 2024, DeMart attempted to meet with an individual who he believed to be a 13-year-old child, and the incident was reported to the police the same day. DeMart was working as a music teacher for the Buffalo Public School District and was suspended from his position after the incident was reported by police. He was sentenced to a 1-year conditional discharge and was ordered to surrender his teaching license. 1-year conditional discharge. What the fuck was that? And, like, this isn't even, like, I'm not surprised by this either. Because I have seen child rapists. I have seen child abusers. I've seen people who sold children only get, like, 5 years in jail. It is never the maximum sentence. At the most that I have seen with shit like this was maybe 20 years. But that was with multiple children. Carry that one. Untruths isn't a word. Why not call me a liar and disparage me? Unless it's because all the information I stated is from numerous law enforcement investigation and has mountains of evidence. Oh, here's Buffalo News. Motherfucker, I don't want to sign up for this bullshit. Is there a way to disable this, or do I have to sign into this? I don't want to. I just want to read it. Anyways, I'm not gonna pay for that. And this is a leaked memo from Buffalo schools. April 28th, 2025. Dear BPS staff, try archive. See if there's an archive. Okay, let me see. Yeah. No archives. Archive. Ignore my archive of our. Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, sweet. Thank you. I completely forget about archive sites. All right. A Buffalo police detective who has found himself in trouble before over his actions on and off the job took to a popular podcast Saturday to accuse Buffalo Public Schools of covering up incidents of attempted abduction, sexual assault, and child abuse in the last 2 years. Richard High, a veteran of the Buffalo Police Department and active military sergeant, appeared on a roughly 40-minute special segment of the Unsubscribed podcast. Excuse me. To describe upsetting situations he believes were improperly handled by employees of the school district, from attorneys and school counselors to teachers and administrators. As of Sunday afternoon, the YouTube version of the podcast approached 500,000 views. Quote, the Buffalo school system has been intentionally not reporting the sexual assaults of students between students, and also has used the Buffalo Police Department school resource officers to write reports and use their influence over those officers to close those reports. Said hi. Okay. Who called his accusations a whistleblower situation, which he expected possible discipline. Buffalo Schools posted a statement on its social media account Saturday evening to acknowledge the video's existence, and states plans to vigorously address these untruths. The district statement added that incidents are handled with seriousness, integrity, fairness, and empathy. Yeah, empathy is the problem with a lot of these fucking things. Buffalo News requested a response by the Buffalo Police Department to High's accusations. A spokesperson acknowledged the request, but no statement has been issued as of late Saturday. High said a recent incident sent him over the edge. He detailed a February incident at Dr. Charles R. Drew Magnet School, attached to a Buffalo Science Museum, in which Shane Cronin, 30, of Illinois, was arrested for assaulting an assistant principal. Buffalo police at the time said Cronin had approached a young student. High, who said he worked personally on the case, said Cronin had tried to abduct 2 students, a girl and a boy, and the attempted abduction of the boy was never reported and not disclosed to the boy's parents. The school then deleted the video of the attempted abduction, High continued. And the district's attorney office only got it because someone within the school had the wherewithal to record it and give it to them. The podcast had sent tremors through the district. Superintendent Tonya M. Williams Knight, must be a Mexican because that many last names, middle name, whatever, posted Sunday that she was deleting her social media accounts due to High's accusations. Good. Unfortunately, at this time, there are completely false distractions against my staff. Distractions? Whatever. Staff, the district, and myself taking place by people who I don't even know, the superintendent wrote. Williams Knight had used social media throughout her 3 years in the role to highlight positive developments within the district. Parent leaders reacted differently to High's message. Where there's smoke, there's fire, said Ed Spinell, president of the District Parent Coordinating Council. Jessica Bauer-Walker, director of the Community Health Worker Network of Buffalo, emphasized there is help for parents and families alarmed by the type of incidents High spoke about. He did not want to comment on any of the specific situations High raised. It's important to ensure that BPS has policies and practices in place that protect students and provide accountability and transparency to families if and when an incident occurs, she said. Students and parents should know who to go to for help in their school and the district, including community family-based advocates. Buffalo Teachers Federation President Rich Negro planned to address some of the topics High's raised with district leadership. The security and safety of all of our students and of all of our members and their students is the Federation's highest priority, he said Sunday. I will be following up with the district for details on the allegations reported yesterday by the Buffalo SDU detective. I will be updating our members in the coming hours or days once I have more information. High's actions as an officer and public persona have brought trouble in the past. Local news outlet Investigative Post reported in February that an investigation by the New York State Attorney General's office revealed that High's misconduct in several on and off duty incidents should have been met with greater discipline. Separately, High was suspended in 2016 and 2017 for his Angry Cops social media channel, which has about 730,000 followers on Facebook and has been dedicated largely to satire and memes. At the time he was suspended in 2016, High had put up more than 100 of his own videos on the former video sharing site Vine. He just looks like he's having a good old time. Many of the videos feature topics that police leaders deemed objectionable, such as High pretending to snort cocaine, then screeching and laughing. Oh no, how horrible. Recording a fake police shooting in which High tells the victim to be quiet since he was only grazed. Okay, that's funny. And one featuring High, who is white, dancing around with a black officer to promote racial harmony. Oh no! A funny video! How terrible. Oh no. Buffalo Police Benevolent Association stood behind High in a statement on Sunday morning by President John Davidson. Detective Richard High is a passionate detective in the Buffalo Police Department who prioritizes the well-being of the city's most vulnerable victims, wrote Davidson, who declined to comment on the specific incident about which High spoke. As a member of the U.S. Armed Forces and law enforcement officer, he does not shy away from the work he does to maintain his physical and mental health. His most recent podcast shows his passion for the job and his dedication to his mental health. Detective High is a valuable member of the Buffalo PBA and has our support. So I'm good. He has a good support system. Police of different races having fun together. The horror. Oh, I know. Just bullshit. How dare he have fun in videos? Oh no. How terrible. Oh no. Ugh. Anyways, this is apparently a leaked memo from the Buffalo Public Schools saying, "Dear BPS staff, it is my great pleasure to serve as your superintendent of schools." Excuse me. Unfortunately, over the weekend, some untrue allegations were shared about the Buffalo Public Schools, and I want to personally reassure you that I truly appreciate the dedication, hard work, and passion you bring to our schools and the students and families we serve each and every day. Your professionalism and commitment to providing a learning environment that is welcoming, safe, and, don't worry, the most important thing, inclusive of all students and families does not go unnoticed. In addition, our centrally located staff service centers, staff, bus aides, and drivers also support our prioritization of safety and security for all campuses, buses, and offices, and providing an excellent education. As your superintendent, I know that I am proud to work with so many caring and talented people, and I want to personally thank you for your continued support and dedication. Ugh, fuck you. I hate people. Oh, and apparently there's this. That is, I guess, for the fiscal year of 2026 for New York State. Saying smartphones have dragged too many of our kids into dark places. Together, we're helping them climb back into the light. Starting this September, all public schools in New York will implement policies that free students from smartphones and other devices bell to bell. New York statewide standard for distraction-free schools. Bell-to-bell restrictions on smartphone use on school grounds. Empower schools to develop their own implementation plans. Require schools to give parents a way to contact their kids. If if you have allegations like this towards your school with whole underreporting thing, don't take the cell phones away from the kids. You know what's worse than cell phones? Schools underreporting the sexual assault of their students. One, I'm not in California. Two, these schools make my like the school district that I am in look like absolute paradise. And this was also reported by Channel 7 News. I haven't read this one yet. I just added it straight to my bookmarks. When was this? Okay, so this hasn't been updated since it was published, and thank God I don't have to look for archive. Buffalo Police SVU Detective Richard High recently appeared on a popular YouTube podcast and accused Buffalo public school officials of failing to protect children from abuse, even obstructing investigations by police. We're taking a closer look at two cases he highlighted in the Unsubscribed podcast. Lumi, there's a video of one of the objectionable arrests he made where a judge complained about his conduct. I can link it to you in the Discord if you want to watch it. Oh yeah, go ahead. Link it in video suggestions and tag me so I can look for it. If we don't react to it tonight, we'll react to it another day. Back in February, Buffalo police arrested 30-year-old Shane Cronin of Lombard, Illinois, after he allegedly entered the Dr. Charles R. Drew Science Magnet School and approached a student. An assistant principal tried to intervene, and Cronin allegedly punched and shoved the assistant principal. Police said they found Cronin hiding inside the Buffalo Museum of Science, which is adjacent to the school. I told 7 News that there's much more to the story. He said that Cronin tried to abduct 2 children at the elementary school, a girl and a boy, but that the school never told the boy's family about the abduction attempt against him. He also said there's evidence that the school erased surveillance video of the incident, but that someone at the school took the cell phone video of that incident and gave it to investigators. So what started out as an investigation where there was no video evidence and only one victim per the school ended up being that there was video evidence. I told 7 News in an interview Saturday night. It was deleted by the school, given to the district attorney's office by somebody that worked for the school, and then in that moment, and only at that moment, when the district attorney was looking at the video, determined there was a second child victim, and that the assistant district attorney had to notify family members of that child, hey, your son was nearly abducted this day. Imagine being that parent, man. I also talked about another case, one he personally investigated. In October, he said a girl at the Buffalo High School went to her counselor to say that her father had been beating her. I said the counselor did not call the authorities, even though she's a mandated reporter of child abuse. I said the girl went to her a second time and showed her cell phone video that showed evidence of abuse. Bahai said that even then, the counselor did not report it. It's only until the third time when the child comes in black and blue, literally, in the morning where the child is immediately in an emergency situation, you can remove a child from the parent's custody, and that's what had to be done, Hai said. The father was arrested and charged with third degree assaults and endangering the welfare of a child. Her beatings were that bad that it was third degree. Jesus Christ. The girl was taken to a shelter for safety. Okay, where's the mother? Is the mother out of the picture? Spokesperson for the Buffalo schools issued the following statement over the weekend for response to Hai's allegations. We already read that. Buffalo Board of Education held a special meeting on Monday and responded to allegations saying it will conduct an independent external investigation. We investigated ourselves and we found no wrongdoing. It's okay, guys. The Board of Education takes allegations about the well-being of our students seriously, said Board President Dr. Kathy Evans Brown. The BOE is initiating an independent external investigations and the result will be shared publicly. Yeah, okay. You know what? Let's listen to this.
The Buffalo Board of Education is responding to a police detective's allegations against the district. They will conduct an independent investigation. After spending about 2.5 hours in executive session, Buffalo School Board members emerged Monday night from behind closed doors, saying they take allegations made by Buffalo Police Detective Richard High very seriously. High accuses the district of covering up cases of child abuse and sexual assaults.
The Board of Education takes allegations about the well-being of our students seriously. The BOE is initiating an independent external investigation, and the results will be shared publicly.
As the superintendent of the Buffalo Public Schools, I need to say that I wholeheartedly support everything that our board president and our board members have shared this evening.
The board is not allowed to comment on any ongoing investigations. However, 3 school board members and Superintendent Dr. Tanja Williams-Knight did say they do not know Detective High and were shocked by what was said on the podcast. The superintendent
I was still muted. Jesus Christ. Anyways, one thing that I noticed while watching this is that they all look annoyed that they even have to be there to talk about this. They all just look like it's a major inconvenience to all of them.
Superintendent also defended the district's response to any alleged case of abuse.
There is not a single parent concern that has come to my attention during my tenure in this position that has not been addressed, oftentimes by me personally.
That if they do have concerns, real concerns, that they reach out to the superintendent, that they reach out to board members, so that we are informed of those concerns.
Now, I did ask board members and the superintendent if they've been inundated by calls from parents, and they said yes, indeed they have. At City Hall, Eileen Buckley, 7 News.
Man, that's expensive fucking suit that the bitch. Ugh, fucking hell. Spokesperson for the Buffalo Police Department issued the following statement. The Buffalo Police Department is aware of the concerns raised by one of our members regarding the handling of incidents involving student safety. We are committed to conducting thorough investigations to ensure transparency and accountability. While we are unable to comment on specific details due to pending investigations, protecting the safety and well-being of our community's youth remains a top priority. We will work diligently with all the stakeholders. See? That's a scary word. Stakeholders. Stakeholders means money. It's like, I know that stakeholders can be used in different contexts, but whenever I see stakeholders, I just see investors, money. I don't like that word. I don't like when people who have their hands in a district's pocket just, I don't know. Anyways. All right, let me read some of the super chats before we continue on. School, thank you for being a member for 9 months. Bureaucratic laziness and corruption. Okay, I already read that. Nerdy text and accountant. Hello, everyone. Lots of not great things have been happening in April. Hope you're doing well. I'm tired. I'm tired, man. Also, thank you for being a member for 9 months. Apex Algorithm Guy, thank you for the 2 non-freedom money. I'm just kidding. Thank you for the support. Mercenary just saw the arch on this. Stuff I hear about this might activate the military to clean house. The guys on the Unsub podcast have first name with Orange Man. Nice. Podcast guys are not just highly decorated vets. They have close friends with Trump admins and Pentagon people. This will lead to 2 mass arrests. Hopefully. Playstone, thank you for the support. It's not a matter of confusing intent for a mistake. It's a matter of proving one versus another. Virtually impossible unless you do a 3-strike system. I mean, sure. But I think it also depends on what it is as well. It's like, say if somebody comes up to you and shows you that they are being absolutely fucking abused and you don't do anything about it. That seems like intent, not a mistake. If you don't report something that is obviously abuse, there should be no 3-strike rule. That should just be automatic trouble. Mercenary, excuse me, LumLum, I couldn't hear you over my BS alarm going off at 300 DPI. Keeps getting louder, Guantanamo Bay for the whole school system. Dark Resurrect, thank you for being a member for 9 months. Not sure if you got this as well, but the superintendent also she resigned? After that whole spiel at the she resigned? Really? Oh, I wonder why. Professor Dova, thank you. Sorry if this is non-topic, but since today is May 1st, might we see DSP's incident? It's the 9th anniversary. Oh, the camera's been on this whole time. We'll do that as a palate cleanser, okay, guys? David the Red. Pedos tend to be very weak and effeminate men with low male hormones. Are very dominant women who want power. Both are ready to meet Chippy out back. Yes. Mercenary. This Buffalo thing happens all over the country, unfortunately. Sly Maverick starts digging new grave holes while playing Bury the Light on repeat. On the Lich, blue states and bending into human pretzels to cover for pedos and tromos. Not related. How does it happen every time? Am I noticing? Help me, fish. You are noticing. And mercenary stakeholders equals traffickers of humans. Yes. Hey LumLum, do you mind if I post a sanitize your links PSA and video yap suggestions and get a mod to pin it? Yeah, go ahead. Alright. Let's continue. Alright. TLDR, don't care. There's something primal in me that stirs when I see a good man dragged through the mud for daring to speak truth. Especially when it's a veteran, especially when it's a good one, especially when it's a man who spent years defending others, only to watch cowards in suits and cowards with microphones try to destroy him for doing the right thing. This week, Detective Richard Hyde, known as many as Angry Cops, put everything on the line to expose the rot festering inside Buffalo schools. He spoke out against a system that, according to him, has shielded child predators, buried sexual assaults, obstructed justice, and even destroyed evidence of an attempted child abduction. He named names, he cited real cases, he did what every man claims he would do in just a world he stood for the defenseless. And what did the media do? What did the so-called respectable anchors and journalists of Buffalo do? They didn't sprint to the district demanding accountability. They didn't demand investigations. They didn't rally around a detective trying to protect children. No, they mocked him. They looked at the podcast where he opened his heart, a podcast filled with veterans and first responders who have seen more violence and death than most Americans could ever comprehend, and they laughed at him. They mocked the setting, they mocked the men, they mocked the message. They tried to turn legitimate warnings of child abuse cover-ups into a joke about white claws and foul language. Ugh, this is pissing me off. It's like, okay, why does it always seem like, don't forget, the tolerant left here? They're always like, man, I wonder why younger men are starting to lean right. They are mocking men that are laying their hearts out. They are doing exactly what they claim that they are so much better for. Oh, we accept all people. Oh, we don't tell men to bury their feelings. But they're doing this exact fucking thing. This is absolutely fucking disgusting. If you say you hate journalists, you still don't hate them fucking enough. Hi, Coco. I'm sorry I'm yelling. Are you checking in on me? Hi, ma'am. It's okay. I'm okay. Because they want you to tolerate anything that has no boundaries and borders, and anything that's a roadblock must be ignored, suppressed. Media laughs at their acquaintances' victims. Yeah. I'm okay, Coco. Okay. I feel like I'm about to cry just reading this dude's message. Because he's speaking... Oh, God. Okay. I'll just keep reading. Imagine being so spiritually bankrupt that you see a man warning about child victims being ignored. Your first instinct is to sneer because he wasn't sitting on a sanitized news set with a teleprompter. Yes, I'm talking to you, WKBW. Okay, we're gonna have to listen to this because I seen there was a video going around. That's who you are, Buffalo Media. You look into the abyss, and instead of facing it like men, you averted your eyes and mocked the warrior who dared to stand at its edge. In Buffalo Public Schools, they didn't pledge transparency. They didn't call for an independent investigation. They didn't answer for the allegations of destroyed evidence, obstructed subpoenas, or unreported assaults. They did what failing institutions always do. They denied. They circled the wagons, they called the man a liar, and they prayed that the storm would pass. It won't, not this time. Because men like him still exist. Men who know what it means to stand between evil and the innocent. Men who recognize that feeling in their gut when an honorable man is wrongfully attacked. A feeling older than law, older than government, a feeling carved into the bones of those who are willing to bleed for the good. Welfare won't save you this time. Not welfare. Lawfare won't save you this time. The tricks you've used to silence others, the whispers, the hit pieces, the half-truths spun into official statements. No, they won't work here, because your sins have been dragged into the light by a man too stubborn, too proud, and too furious to bow before your fake gods of reputation and political safety. You picked a fight with a man who fights for a living. You picked a fight with one of us. There will be a reckoning. It will not come through mobs. It will not come through chaos, but through truth, through coverage, and through the absolute unwillingness to look away from evil, simply because it wears a suit and speaks softly. Detective Richard High is not crazy. He is not disgraced. He is not broken. He is what every one of you wish you were when you stand in the mirror at night and lie to yourselves about who you are. He is a man who refused to be silent when it would have been safer to shut his mouth. He is a man who would choose honor over comfort. In the end, when the smoke clears, history will record whose side he stood on. It won't be yours. Take a 5-minute break? No, I'm good. I cried in anger the first time you watched that podcast episode on Sunday. It pissed me the fuck off when I first seen it. Because it just happened to come across my YouTube recommended when it was uploaded like an hour. Like after an hour it was uploaded. And just, it pissed me off. Media's on full smear mode. Where's the... There was one news thing that I seen. Fuck, where'd it go? Did it get deleted? Hold on, I need to go look for it because I know I had it in my bookmarks. Did it get deleted? Give me a second. Oh, where'd it go? It had to have been deleted. I can't find it. Because this was 3 days ago when he was interviewed. I'll still bring this up. This one he was interviewed? Yeah. Interview. Board meeting. Yeah, I can't find it because there's one that I had in my bookmarks of a news anchor just be a complete fucking asshole about it. Let's see, that is a different live thing. I think it was deleted. What the fuck? Because there was people standing by a news desk or something. And we have scrubbed it? Possibly. Yeah, because I can't find the video anymore. Fuck, I should have archived it. Was the Buffalo School Board the day after straight up called High a liar? Now we will investigate. Yeah. Yeah, because there's the interview, but this way, I'm gonna find it like after the stream or something. I don't know, but we'll still watch this one anyway. Yeah, since day one, there's been a lot of scrubbing. I'll eventually find it, or someone will get it to me. Ow, Coco, really? All right, let's.
To follow a story involving a Buffalo police detective with the Special Victims Unit. In this podcast, Richard High accuses the Buffalo School District of obstructing investigations into allegations of child abuse and sexual assaults among students. Those accusations are now going viral on that YouTube podcast and also our WKBW Facebook page, where more than 200 of you have left comments on the story. Detective High spoke with 7 News senior reporter Maki Becker Saturday night, and tonight I'm breaking down more of that conversation along with what the school district is saying.
This is real, and this can affect my life, but it's at the moment where it's one of those things where you gotta do the right thing or not.
Buffalo Police Detective Richard High opening up in a recent podcast that's already nearing 500,000 views. He's accusing Buffalo Public Schools of obstructing child abuse and sexual assault investigations.
Schools are mandated reporters, and that is one of the reasons why I went on my friend's podcast to talk about the issue with specifically the Buffalo school system and their intentional lack in support of our investigations into students at the schools.
High sat down with senior reporter Maki Becker Saturday to explain why he's speaking out.
The schools and their administration and the legal representatives for that administration are intentionally killing cases preventing information from going to detectives in the assistant district attorney's office, and even destroying evidence and ignoring subpoenas.
High also described a case where a student was sexually assaulted near a school pool.
Unfortunately, that case did not get reported. If I'm not mistaken, it was the principal of the school who, quote unquote, did their own investigation and then deemed that the girl was a liar and then wrote a scathing report.
But a district spokesperson denied the claims, calling them unfortunate and untrue, and vowing to vigorously address these untruths. In a Facebook post, Superintendent Dr. Tanja Williams-Knight shared she will be taking a break from social media.
This specific episode was something that was really weighing on my conscience. I say it even in the episode that a week prior, I'd started getting counseling because of it.
The police union president told 7 News High's podcast shows his passion for the job and that he has the union's support. But High, who also runs the Angry Cops page, has made headlines numerous times in the past. In February, Investigative Post reported that the Attorney General's office found High had been repeatedly discourteous, escalating civilian encounters and sometimes using force. And with possible disciplinary action on the line for speaking out, High says he's willing to take that risk.
I'd like to see the people that are responsible for preventing children getting the appropriate amount of victim care to be held responsible.
And you can check out all of our reporting on the...
It's like, again, how is it so hard to protect kids? Okay, bye, Coco. I love you. How is it so hard to protect kids, but just, I don't know. It's like, all we know is that Rich is going to have a lot of support behind him when this happened. Like, if they decide to go after him, which I would be more surprised if they didn't. But, I don't know. Because they're so small. It's like, again, I don't know, how is it so hard? How is it so fucking hard to protect kids? Granted, we already know that the system is rotten to its fucking core. We already know this. But the fact that we know this, we've complained about it, people have been complaining about it for decades. But there's still no change. The only thing that changes are the people in charge, but the people in charge are voted in by the same corrupt people that want to keep things hidden. I'm going to be keeping track of this as it goes on and everything, because stuff like this makes me extra pissed off. It makes me a special type of pissed off, honestly. LumLum, I mean, not to sound rude, but didn't you tell us as a child you almost got abducted? Went, yes. Yeah. That's because I was stupid. And that's why I learned from my almost oopsie poopsies. I learned from my oopsie poopsies, my oopsie daisies even. But yeah, there's this thing called the corruption of innocence. Evil people love doing it, and the world propagates evil people. Yeah, honestly, and it's horrifying. Oh my god, it's terrible. It's absolutely fucking horrible. But as a palate cleanser before I end stream and stuff, since it is the 9-year anniversary of the infamous DSP clip, we will watch the DSP clip. That will be our palate cleanser. And then we'll end stream. Because we need a little funny before. We can't leave off on absolutely, absolutely sad. You need a beer after this? Happy 9 years, DSP, of your most infamous clip in existence. Can you just play some Oblivion instead? I have my other podcast in a couple hours, so no. We'll do Oblivion tomorrow. Yeah, before actually no, I'll read the rest of the super chats after this. Okay. Alright. He just looks so focused. Have I seen HLC's coverage? I have not. Can you post that on the server? He is concentrating. This goes on for about a minute and a half. Happy 9-year anniversary, DSP, of your incident. This is somehow cathartic. No, he's not having a stroke. He's wanking it.
What is up, everyone? Hello, hello, and welcome. Oh, the camera's on. The camera's been on the whole time, huh? I don't even know. Hello.
He didn't even... Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, DSP. That's just... Ugh. Alright, let me read the rest. Played that off like a champ. Oh, buddy. Alright, let me read the rest of the super chats and... Oh. Alright. Mercenary, this is the stuff I've been kind of hearing about from the military guys when I'm around them. Remember what I told you guys on the Discord? Yes. There's some really dark work stuff coming. I'm definitely sure about that. The prevention of child protection is by design. Fucking doubt that either. Lumi, hope you're doing okay. Also, people say bring out the chippy, but I may suggest my pals rope and tree. These people can hang out with them. Oh yeah, for sure. What did I miss? Do you want to know? No. Can't believe it's been 9 years. You know, I was like vaguely aware of DSP's existence for the longest time. And then Akko brought me down the rabbit hole that was DSP. Didn't DSP also shit himself on stream? Fuck if I know. There we go. Oh, that's nasty, Cleveland Brown. Yep. How would you react to the Starship Trooper style of government coming about from this stuff? I don't fucking know. Here, before we go, I will let you guys see the Arch plushie. Just go off on a high note of the Arch plushie. Let me find someone to raid to. I think Kibbles is still alive. Let me see. My channel. We'll raid over to Coconut. Alright, Kibbles, where are you be? Did I not? Kib's alive. Oh, yeah, there he is. Okay, I'm just blind. Oh, no, he's not live right now. He's not live. Okay. I think Rima's live, though. Rima... She is not live. Why is everybody not live on right now? God damn it. Just ended like a minute ago. No. Oh no, Rima's live. So you know what? You guys can listen to some VTuber drama over with a Rim. Rim is back from Japan, which means we can go bother our wife. Just as God intended it. Alright, everyone. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it as always. And I will see you guys tomorrow for more Oblivion. That'll be fun. So, night, everybody. I will see you guys later.